Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. Hope you are all doing well. If you are new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell notification so you never miss any important updates. Today, we will discuss about Operation Barbarossa. On the early morning of June 22nd, 1941, as the first light broke over Europe, a massive military force launched an unexpected and formidable strike. This marked the commencement of Operation Barbarossa, the code name for Nazi Germany's invasion of the Soviet Union, a pivotal and catastrophic event in World War II. Orchestrated by Adolf Hitler, this operation was the largest military invasion in history and profoundly altered the course of the war. It was more than a mere battle for territorial gain. It was an ideological crusade aimed at overthrowing Bolshevism and securing Lebensraum, living space, for the Nazi regime. Hitler's decision to violate the Nazi-Soviet Non-Aggression Pact of 1939 was rooted in both a chronic underestimation of Soviet strength and an overestimation of German capabilities. The agreement had initially provided a veneer of peace between Germany and the Soviet Union, allowing Hitler to secure his Western Front. However, Hitler's vision for a vast German empire could only be realized by conquering the resource-rich lands of the Soviet Union. He believed a swift victory would be at hand, clinging to the illusion that the Soviet military, weakened by Stalin's purges, would collapse like a house of cards. In the early morning darkness of June 22nd, the Nazis unleashed a calculated and concentrated attack along a 1,800-mile front, stretching from the Baltics in the north to the Black Sea in the south. With over 3 million Axis troops, including infantry, tanks, and aircraft, this juggernaut was arguably the most powerful invasion force ever assembled. 3 army groups, North, Center, and South, led by seasoned commanders, had specific objectives: capturing Leningrad, Moscow, and the resource-rich Ukraine, respectively. The initial weeks of Operation Barbarossa saw the Nazis achieving rapid and overwhelming gains. Soviet defenses were devastated by the Blitzkrieg tactics, a synchronized firestorm of ground and air attacks. German forces penetrated deep into Soviet territory, capturing hundreds of thousands of Soviet soldiers in vast encirclements. The Red Army, caught unprepared and in disarray, suffered staggering losses in manpower and equipment. Cities and towns fell, and the Nazis advanced with alarming speed. However, as summer gave way to autumn, the tides of war began to shift. The German army, burdened by overextended supply lines and the tenacity of Soviet resistance, faced increasing difficulties. The vast expanse and harsh terrain of the Soviet Union thwarted German plans for a quick victory. Meanwhile, the Soviets, rallying under Stalin's command, regrouped and launched counteroffensives. The Soviet spirit of resilience, unity, and sacrifice became evident as industries were relocated eastward, and the Red Army adopted strategies to outwit their enemy. As autumn turned to winter, the brutal Russian winter set in, a foe the German army had dangerously underestimated. As temperatures plummeted, German troops, unprepared for the harsh cold, found their machinery frozen and their resolve tested against an unforgiving climate. It was during this period that the Battle of Moscow occurred, a turning point where Soviet counterattacks drove the Germans back, marking the first major defeat for the Nazis. Operation Barbarossa, envisioned as a swift campaign, evolved into a prolonged and costly struggle. It opened the Eastern Front, a battlefield that would become the graveyard of the Nazi war machine. Despite early territorial gains, the operation failed to achieve its ultimate objectives. The invasion not only diverted German resources, but also galvanized Soviet determination, setting the stage for the Red Army's relentless push towards Berlin in later years. In closing, Operation Barbarossa was more than a military campaign. It was a clash of ideologies with world-altering consequences. While it exposed the vulnerabilities of both the Nazi and Soviet regimes, it also underscored the indomitable spirit of a people united in the face of annihilation. The failure of Operation Barbarossa signaled the beginning of the end for Nazi Germany, altering the trajectory of World War II and shaping the geopolitical landscape for decades to come. Today, as we reflect on this monumental invasion, we recognize the enduring lessons of history, of ambition unchecked and resilience unyielding.